What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here. We are back with another Tales of the Rays video. We have the 35th producer's letter for Tales of the Rays, and there's a little bit of interesting information on here that we should probably go over in terms of what we're going to see probably leading up to the 3-year anniversary. So, version 3.7.0 update information. This will be pretty much be an update in preparation for 3rd anniversary, like I just said. Every year we introduce a large new feature at Anniversary, and we will be doing the same this year. So we are getting the Tower of Eternal Ancestry all-out battle. So this was mentioned in a previous producer's letter, and I think in the last live stream, that they wanted to add kind of a harder tower, because if you're someone like me or anyone who spends more money than me on this game, which I really don't spend that much, I'm mostly free to play. I've probably spent maybe... I don't want to really go into like crazy numbers, but I can't imagine I've spent more than $500 on this game, which probably sounds like a lot to a lot of people, but overall in the grand scheme of the game, it's not too much. Because it's just like, $20 here, $20 there. But most people who have been, even if you're free to play, if you've been playing since the beginning, you should have enough awakened characters to beat all 60 floors and still have a decent amount of characters left over. Assuming you're not just auto-battling the entire thing. Like, if you're actually playing it, you should have no problems beating it and having plenty of characters left over. So, that begs the question of, you've got these people who probably, spend the most on the game, have max limit broken every single mirage art in the game. They have all full leveled up characters and stuff. So what is there to really do for them if this stuff is already too easy for them? If it's easy for us, it's definitely easy for them. So they want to add a harder mode so that there's something to do. So obviously, some people might be like, oh, this is going to be too hard for me. And, it probably is for now. But they can't just, appeal to the free-to-play audience. They got to appeal to their paying audience as well. So I assume we'll have 2 different towers every month. So this is going to be one of those. So let's go over the rules that's going to be happening in this tower. So, first rule. Each character can only be used once per battle, and regardless of the outcome, they will be switched out in the next battle. We're also thinking of making it actually survive until all characters die, but some players would be able to continue living for 3-4 hours, even more, so we decided to change it. So basically what they're saying is, you'll go in with 4 characters, and all 4 of those characters, once that fight ends, you can't use them again for the rest of the tower. So you're pretty much limited to the amount of characters that you have. So let's say there's 50 floors. You're using 4 characters per floor, so you would need... What would be the math on that? 50 times 4, so you'd need 200 characters, which obviously we don't have, so you can't make that work. So I'm wondering if... I'm just trying to think if, like... So you can't use... it doesn't really say you can't use the character again. It just says it will be switched out in the next battle. So I wonder if that means you'll be able to use them again later. Do we choose before every fight which 4 characters we want to bring in there? Obviously, there are a lot of questions to kind of have there, and we'll have to see. I assume that this will go live with the 3-year anniversary, like it says right here, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So second thing, characters receive as many IS as they have spheres. What is IS? I don't know what IS is. As many IS? I assume that's... So the spheres is obviously what you have when you're doing the normal tower that kind of gives you the stat boost, so... I don't know what... I really don't know what IS stands for. Someone can comment down below what IS stands for. Let's see if it explains it anymore here. We thought this would be allowable. This also would allow for a different new play style from the main game and bring a more enjoyable battle aspects. Receive as many IS. What is IS? That's such a weird... It's unfortunate that whoever... Still, shout out to, the people who translate this information. They do a lot of great work for us. But I'm still just kind of like thinking, what is IS? Someone down below will tell me what IS is, because right now I just can't. I'm like, what is IS? Okay, rewards. Items to increase item level cap. Ooh. So I assume that means items to like our weapons that we hold, mirage arts that we hold. As rewards for all out battle, there will be new items that can increase the level cap of weapons. Oh, so just the overall. So, okay. So you won't be able to get more. Oh, but this kind of. Okay, let's read this and then I'll kind of talk about it. So, it will be possible to increase the cap of 3-star weapons from 80 to 90, 100. Okay, so 80, 90 to 100. This way, there will be less disadvantage to equipping lower rarity equipment. This was a big thing just for a long time because obviously there are some 3-star arts that are better than the 4-star arts for a specific arts for a specific character. Like if you're running a character like Elise or just any other healer and you're using first aid, it kind of sucks because you get that stat lowered because you're using a 3-star weapon instead of using all 4 and 5 stars. So this is actually a really good thing. Plus, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but it could be it kind of sucks because I've sold so much 3-star equipment once I max stuff out, and even 4-star equipment, that I've gotten rid of, other stuff. So if this just increases the cap, you'll need to get copies of that weapon again, which kind of sucks. But, oh well. Okay, so as to whether this will be applicable to 4 stars or just 3 stars is currently under evaluation. Okay, so they haven't decided yet. All right, training mode. This is what we've been waiting for a lot. So here's the thing. A lot of people want to get good with specific characters, myself included. And I've always wanted to kind of make videos whenever new characters come out and I pull stuff for them. Kind of want to be making a gameplay video for the character, but I don't want to just jump into a random mission and, have all the other characters help out or whatever. So I think training mode, excuse me, would be oh my God. Excuse me, that was kind of loud. I think training mode would be a great way for us to, we'd have a training dummy, we'd beat them up, we could see how much we could combo and stuff. It's like kind of like a fighting game, you practice against a training dummy and you kind of get better and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and read this. We said sometime before that using the debug mode would make for an easy training mode, but we wanted players to be able to make the most of it, and so content was expanded to quite a large volume. Things like BGM select, stage select are included. Ooh, I like that. If we try to add any more at this point, the release date would be pushed too far back, so we will release it as is now and add new features as we go. We have made features such as a training stage with a grid and the ability to change equipped arts freely and features for combo practice. That's actually really cool. In turn, for making it a bit simple, we focused on making it easy to use. The release this update will be just the simplest version with new features will be presented next month. Okay, so we're just basically going to get the bare bones version of it where we get to fight against a training dummy and pretty much practice combos. So that's pretty much it for the update stuff. So this will be the stuff that probably comes with the anniversary next month. Or no, they said it's this month and then we'll get more next month. So this will be the stuff we get this month at some point, I assume later in the month. So here's the thing. Here's where we kind of have to talk about. Before we go into details for each thing, January event schedule. Spirit Gear with everything later January. Lilith and Limbo will join a Coliseum event later January. So that always means the last third of the month. So if both our events that they showed us are in the last part of the month, what are we getting? And then also down here, also this month, where is it? Also, we are skipping the main scenario this month, so the remaining will not be a chapter. There is no chapter coming this month, so what are we going to be getting? I usually don't like to talk about data mines because I feel like that's not really stuff that we really should be talking about, but there is supposed to be a collab coming. They haven't dropped the PV. I'm not going to talk about what it is or, most people who are in the main Tales of the Raze server probably know what it is, or if you've been keeping up with people's tweets and stuff, you probably know what it is, but the event that should start on the 12th or the 13th will most likely be a collab of some kind. So if you are worried about whether you will like this collab or not, because I don't even know if it's 100% confirmed yet. We won't know until they actually drop the preview, which they should drop a preview either sometime after this video comes out the same day or probably the following day, because the event has to start on either Sunday or Monday. So there's definitely going to be something coming before both of this stuff. So these two events are actually going to run into each other. So I assume the Spirit Gear event will probably start around the 20th. You know, maybe like the 19th or 20th. Give us like a week of whatever this first event's going to be, and then start the Spirit Gear. Because the Spirit Gear you just kind of do on the side. You know, you do as much farming daily as you can. And then I assume this event will start on the 31st. So we get like a week and a half of this, and then you kind of have to pick and choose what you want to farm for. Coliseum events are pretty easy to farm overall. So you'll pretty much be able to finish that and then go back to the... They'll probably have this Spirit Gear event go for like an entire month, just so people, you know, in between all this time have time to kind of farm up what they need for their Spirit Gears. But let's go over the details here. So Crest will be getting a Spirit Gear with Origin. Of course, in the original, Origin is non-elemental, but for gameplay purposes, we're making him/it light element. And scenario-wise, Origin himself will not appear, but his power can be used through shards containing his power. Now that's Crest for you. And for Riala's water element, she will be receiving a Spirit Gear with Aqua Limus, who appeared in Destiny 2. We are thinking that we want to feature other spirits, sacred beasts, and other such beings that appeared in the original games in later events and such. Although we have not decided whether to feature them in just Spirit Gears or also in scenario, challenge quests, and such. They're also important characters of the franchise. We would like to feature them all in some fashion. So they didn't write anything about Mint. I guess Mint is pretty self-explanatory. I guess Mint just gets Sylph, since it's wind. But let's go ahead. Let's talk about the second event before we get on out of here. Lilith and Lim will join the Coliseum event later January. If it's the Coliseum, this person comes to mind. Ladle in the right, Frypan in the left. The unrivaled sister, Lilith, and her daughter, the champion of, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, oh, we'll try, Neustadt Coliseum Limmel. We have mentioned this in a previous letter, but we finally realized the Dream Parent-Child event. You could have done it with Lloyd and Kratos. I mean, you could have. Actually, since it's been a long time since I saw Limmel, I dug out the PS2 that was in my wife's trousseau. I'm sure that's a word for something. Probably like a dresser of some kind or some kind of drawer. And we challenged the Coliseum together. Unfortunately, we both lost at the final and couldn't fight Limmel. But I was able to enjoy the Baku Enkin spam against the Dragonute, so all was good. For this event, those two will appear and will... Whoa. Wait, what? Those two will also be receiving season. Oh, I think they're referring to the two characters that were shown. I was like, wait, they're getting regular and? I think this is just worded weirdly or translated weirdly. They're obviously talking about, who was it? It was Judas and who was the second character? Oh, Loney. So those would be the characters getting seasonals. And of course, if it's the Coliseum, that person has to appear. Will the champion come or not? Look forward to it. I assume that has something to do with Destiny 2, which I have not played because it's Japanese only, so I do not know what they are referencing. But overall, this is some pretty exciting stuff. Like I said, we're most likely getting a collab reveal in the next day or two, and then it should start around the 12th or the 13th. Just out of respect, obviously, for the developers and everything, I'm not going to publicly discuss what it is, but I would just say make sure you start farming up the story that got reset if you think you're going to want stuff from it. I think there will probably be a decent amount of people who will be excited about this, if it's what's being teased. But, so yeah, no story this month, so I probably will not be doing a live stream for that, but we will have the live stream for the general Tales stream that we're going to be doing. So we still have a live stream this month. And that's pretty much it for the producers there. I'm very excited about the training mode and this new tower. I'm excited to kind of try it out. I assume mostly the whales and people who have been playing for a very long time will be the ones to actually thrive in this. I'm still wondering what IS is. They receive as many... I don't know. Maybe it's like referring to the abilities or whatever. It's still bothering me, but whatever. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys think down below about all this stuff coming out. We may get on the live stream we have in 12 days. We may actually get a reveal as to what the anniversary is going to entail in terms of who the boss character is, which people have kind of speculated it might be Artorias. Just mainly because when they did that voting initially, when we first got Mythos, I think in the first, like, 5 characters, I think Artorias was, like, number 5 or something. So people are just speculating he would be the next one. Which I think would be fine, because Velvet's Spirit Gear was, you know, a couple months ago already. So if she got a Decisive Mirage Art, and then they'd probably grab 2 random characters who don't have any yet, I think that'd be fine. I still say, you know, we could possibly see Velvet, Emil, and Ludger, just because they are 3 characters that are main protagonists that do not have Decisive Mirage Arts yet. Like, if we go down the list, Cress has 1. Stan and Kyle both have 1. Vague does not have 1, so Vague is also an option. Okay, so there's 4 characters. Lloyd has 1. Raid has 1. I'm starting to forget, like, the order. Luke has 1. Yuri has 1. Shing just got his. Ruka has his. Caius has his. Saray has 1. Jude, yes. And that's pretty much it. So that leaves 4 characters to get Decisive Mirage Arts. So it'd be very... and Sinel. I forgot Sinel. Sinel has his as well. So yeah, there's only 4 main characters that still need a Decisive Mirage Art. So they could go with any of those 4. I would say possibly Emil has probably the highest chance of being one of the 3, just because he has the least amount of Mirage Arts. Ludger has 3. Vague has 2, but he has a Spirit Gear. So Vague and Emil are pretty much in the same boat, because they both have... Vague just has a seasonal, regular Mirage Art, Spirit Gear. Emil has... Actually, Vague is actually pretty high on the list, actually, because his Mirage Arts aren't as powerful as an Overray, whereas Emil has an Overray, so Vague could actually be one of those options. Anyways, I'm rambling. Let me know what you guys think down below for the 3-year anniversary. Who do you want the boss character to be? If I had a choice, I think I wouldn't mind Heldolf, if I'm being totally honest. I think Heldolf would be a pretty menacing villain to have, but the issue with that is Saray already has an Overray and a Decisive Mirage Art, so Saray wouldn't be part of the event. So they'd probably have to give a Decisive Mirage Art maybe to, like, Rose or Alicia or somebody. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.